Good afternoon and good evening wherever you are, everyone. And again, a special guest back to our program, Joao Salenti. Sir, your predictions about the silver market, spot on. Your predictions about the gold market, spot on. Tell us, what do we have in store for the remainder of 2026?
I've been at this for 46 years. I've never seen a time like this in my life. Nobody could predict the future. There are too many wild cards, whether they're made by humans or nature. And boy, the wild cards that are being played now by humans are like nothing I've ever seen. So, as far as precious metals go, we said last year, 2025, that gold would hit $5,000 an ounce by the end of the year. I was off by 23 days. It hit 5,000 on January 23rd of this year. JP Morgan Chase said gold will hit $5,000 an ounce by the fourth quarter of 2026. So let's forget about what's going on now. We got to wait for, the fourth quarter. No, we could see gold easily going to $6,000 an ounce and silver going back to where it was above the $120 an ounce mark. It's the death of the dollar is basically what's going on. And you look at the facts, the Americans' debt level, it's officially almost they say I think by March 6th, it'll hit about $39 trillion. It's way above that when you put in Social Security and other government expenditures. There are numbers that are saying well over 100 trillion. And then you're looking now at what's going on in the .com world. Again, one of our top trends for 2026 is .com bust 2.0. And again, you go back to your trends journal when it was a quarterly. We had forecast the .com bust in the autumn of 1999. We said it would bust by the second quarter of 2000, which it did. And the NASDAQ was down 80% before 9/11. One of my sayings is, when all else fails, they take you to war. So now let's go back to .com. All of a sudden, you're seeing the companies, so many of the hedge funds and private equity groups and others investing overseas and getting out of America. They're going where AI is booming quicker, particularly in Asia. The business of America's war, the business of China's business. China's going to lead the world in AI. Again, trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. AI has just been born, a couple of years ago, 2022. You don't invest all your dough in the infant. And China, go back to 25 years ago, before Bill Clinton brought China into the World Trade Organization. 10% of 18-year-olds back then went to college. Now nearly 70%. China's investing very heavily in AI. Now what else is going on? Now the AI is advancing and is putting a lot of these high-tech businesses out of business because you don't need them anymore. AI's taken over. And that's what started bringing the equity markets way down. So those two areas where high tech is going to take jobs from AI is going to take jobs from high tech, and China is going to be investing more and more in AI, you're going to see a .com bust in the United States. You're going to see the equity markets, they're way overvalued, the PE ratios, and then you have the Magnificent Seven running most of the equity markets, the S&P 500 rather. And you have a handful of companies, where they say Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock own what percent of the S&P 500? Numbers range from 40 to 80%, depending on who you want to believe. And again, the NASDAQ is way overloaded with just a couple of companies. So we see a .com bust coming. We see the death of the dollar coming. And that is going to push up gold prices and silver prices very high. Because the lower interest rates fall, which they're going to do under Trump, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the cheaper it is to buy precious metals because they're dollar-based. So as the other currencies go up, it's cheaper for them to buy. And then there's the international issues. The Ukraine war is not ending. And now Netanyahu's in the United States talking to Trump. If they bomb Iran, this is going to be really serious. And that'll drive up not only precious metals prices, but also Brent crude. And if Brent crude goes over $100 a barrel, and as we're talking now, it's in $68 a barrel range, nothing, that'll crash the global economy. And because you're already looking, the reason why oil prices are so low is because there's way more supply than demand. There's a global slowdown. And so that's what we see happening on the big picture.
I just want to go back to a couple of weeks ago, what happened in the silver market. Do you think that day where silver fell 30%, was that a bank or a European bank? Or, I have my theories on it, but somebody seemed to want to really drive that down to possibly cover a short. Do you have any insight on that?
A lot of these things are, the ETFs. A lot of people were gambling in that, and they kept raising the prices of how much you had to pay to stay in there. So, and then as it went down, they didn't have the money to cover it. That's part of it.
Uh-huh.
Is the game rigged? This is 2026, so let's go back to 2019 history. What happened? Oh, J.P. Morgan Chase was fined what, $9? How come? For rigging the precious metals markets? All right.
Yeah. History repeats.
Hey, I'm Jamie Dimon. I don't go to jail. Hey, here's some money. Shut the hell up, all right? Yeah, we only got convicted of 5 felonies, all right? It's a crime syndicate that morons and imbeciles call a government. Once upon a time, there was this cat by the name of Mussolini. The merger of state and corporate powers, fascism. Kabish? That's what you got.
Extraordinary.
Once upon there was a guy, there was the Prince of Peace. I have the magazine cover here. Jesus Christ, right? What did he end up doing? Oh, he drove the money to the temple. Oh, what happened 3 days later? Whew, he's on the cross, all right? You don't screw with the banksters.
Gerald, how is not a big guy on crypto, but we've also seen the crypto market come off too. I mean, is there a driving force behind all of this? Is it the banks trying to get crypto out of the way to try to salvage the dollar? I mean, it seems to be a lot of arrows pointing down here. And if the equity market goes down too, I mean, this is going to be a total knockout.
Yeah. Oh, here's the cover in the magazine. This is back in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, we were bullish on it because the Trump team got that Nick's kid, Witkoff, Jerkoff, Wackoff's kid, all the Trump family in it. So we're bullish on it. But then again, what's happening is, a lot of over-investing in different markets, and they're playing the markets, not buying physical. In the precious metals markets, and again, they raised the requirements of how much you had to have to play the game. And then the crypto thing, it's an invented thing that just happened. What I mean, nothing printed on nothing. It's a game, and so you're playing the game. Where's it going to go? It's as we're speaking, it's what, about $68,000 a coin, but it started from nothing.
True.
So you're still at 67,000, 65,000, whatever it is. That's still a lot of dough. Yeah, it went up to over 120,000. But again, it's a speculative market. And here's the other thing. The world is going to go digital. Central bank digital currencies are the future. And we were talking about AI before. I mean, as I say, they got it wrong in the King James Bible when they said the meek shall inherit. The geeks have inherited it. Everything is high tech.
True.
You know, no, it's true. I mean, I grew up at a time, I was number two guy running a major trade association. And after our trade show, we put on an event for the people that exhibited. I put on one with Ella Fitzgerald. You ask people who Ella Fitzgerald is, what's that? What's Fitzgerald? Oh, Louis Armstrong. They never heard of these people. They never heard of American jazz and music and style. It's all gone. It's all gone. So going back, they're going to go digital so they know every penny you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on. Going back to AI, we know everything about you, where you're going, what you're doing, what you're spending. You this or that. We know everything about you.
That's
is going.
I have to agree with you on this here because, originally when crypto was promoted to the world, it was kind of like, hey, this is very anonymous. Then they went from anonymous to very safe to it can be equally used around the world in transactions. It hasn't been adapted by that, but you did call it right when you said that the Trump administration got behind it. You saw all the pardons going on in the crypto business. A lot of, Binance, he was pardoned, many other executives. So that caused a major rally. Now, I also see, once again, I'm not a big guy on crypto, but I can see a lot of people losing faith in their currencies or fearing that the US government's about to invade their country and they're going to go to a safe haven. Well, they're definitely not going to jump into the dollar. They might just as well go into crypto. And again, the Trump administration is ready there for them as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting 2026.